Welcome back to Love No Less, the podcast where we explore real stories of emotional connection, heartbreak, and the love that lingers in the spaces between what was and what could have been. Today's episode is called The One That Got Away. This story isn't about fairy tale endings. It's about timing. It's about realizing someone was your person after they were already gone. It all began freshman year of college. I was standing in the school bookstore searching for textbooks when I first saw him. In a room full of students, it was like the world faded out. He was tall, beautiful, calm, and magnetic, like a daydream that somehow stepped into real life. I remember thinking, no way someone like that would ever be into someone like me. We didn't speak then, just a glance, but it stayed with me. Weeks passed, and the school hosted a movie night at the theater. Everyone was invited. I went thinking nothing of it until I saw him, the one who had already carved out space in my memory without even knowing it. My heart skipped, butterflies, more like a hurricane. As he walked in, I couldn't help but wonder, would he sit near me? There was an empty seat next to me, just one, and then he walked over, right towards me.
Mind if I sit here?
Of course, I said yes. Too quick, probably. I smiled wide. I wanted him to see how happy it made me, him choosing me, but nothing could have prepared me for what came next. He reached out and asked to hold my hand. My breath caught. That single touch sent chills across my skin. It was soft, simple, and honest. One tear slipped down my cheek, not from sadness, but from the knowing, because at that moment I knew he was the one that got away. And I also knew I couldn't have him. I already had a boyfriend, the all-star football player. The guy everyone thought was perfect for me, but no one knew how unfair he could be, how he could tear me down with words, disappear emotionally, and sometimes even worse. I didn't have proof he was cheating, but I felt it, and that kept me loyal when my heart wanted to be free. And then there was him, the one that got away. He didn't just sit next to me once. He kept showing up. Slowly, we became friends, close friends. And through every hard moment, he was there. When I'd leave my boyfriend's dorm with tears in my eyes, somehow he always knew. He'd call, check in, listen without judgment. He wasn't just another athlete. Though basketball was his world, he made it clear I was his world. He was gentle, patient, fiercely loyal. I could see it in the way he looked at me, in the way my sadness became his sadness. When I smiled, he did too. And when other girls flirted with him, he turned them down every time. I heard him say to one of them, "I'm not available." And I knew he meant me. Even though he never said it directly, I knew. But I was still tied to someone else, stuck in something that looked good on the outside but felt empty on the inside. And the more I grew, to know the one who got away, the more I realized he was everything I didn't know I needed, but the one thing I couldn't have. Time passed, we drifted, life moved on, but his imprint never left, not once. I often wonder what would have happened if I had been brave enough to choose the love that saw me, that held me, that waited. Maybe I could have met his beautiful daughter. Maybe we would have built something quiet but powerful. Maybe. But instead, all I have is the memory of the one who got away. Sometimes we confuse loyalty with love. We stay out of fear, out of obligation, out of not wanting to be the bad guy. But true love, it's quiet, it's consistent. It's the person who shows up when no one else does. And sometimes we let it slip away. Thank you for listening to Love No Lust with Shanbelove. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded that real love doesn't shout, it shows up. Until next time, be honest, be kind, and never settle for less than the love that sees you fully.